Today, we're diving into a question that's on pretty much every parent's mind. How in the world do you teach your kids right from wrong? It's a journey, for sure, and one that really changes as they grow up. So, we're going to break down how you can guide them every single step of the way.
It really all boils down to this one question. We're not just talking about getting them to memorize a list of rules. Not at all. We're talking about helping them build a kind of internal compass, one that lets them navigate life's challenges all on their own. So, how do we actually do that?
Okay, so the foundation for all of this isn't a simple list of do this, don't do that. It's actually way deeper. The real goal here is to get to the why behind it all. And this quote just nails it. Think about it. We're not trying to program little robots to just follow commands. We're raising future adults. We want to teach them how to think for themselves so that down the line, they can make those good choices without us even being there. A really fantastic way to explain that why is with this super simple but powerful little framework. You can break down almost any situation into these three parts. First, something happens. That's the event. Then, a choice is made. And finally, that choice leads to a consequence. Helping your kids see this simple pattern is the absolute key to them understanding how it all works. Let's see how this all plays out in real life, starting with those early years, say from about age 3 to 5. In the UK, they call this the early years foundation stage. The main thing to remember here is that their little brains are still under construction, especially the part that's in charge of impulse control. So here's the crucial part. We just can't expect a 4-year-old to have the same self-control as a 10-year-old. It's not going to happen. A lot of the time, their impulses are driving the car. So our job isn't to punish the impulse, it's to help guide the action. And that's it, right there. That pretty much sums up your main role when they're this little. You are their guide. You're like the guardrails on the highway of their development. So how do you actually do it? Well, remember, they are watching you all the time. Your reactions, big and small, become their blueprint for how to behave. When you do have to step in, make sure your messages are firm, but also fair and kind. At this age, you're pretty much making the choice for them and explaining the why as you go. Now let's fast forward a bit. As we move into those early school years, somewhere around ages 6 to 8, something really amazing starts to happen. They begin to develop this whole new level of awareness. It's a huge turning point. And right here, we see this really critical shift. You're moving from guiding their choices, like you did when they were tiny, to helping them understand their own choices. Your role as a parent is evolving right along with their growing brain. This is the key concept for this age group: moral intelligence. You can think of it as that little light bulb that starts to flicker on in their heads, that dawning realization that, hey, there are social rules and my actions actually affect other people. You'll start to see them get that some things just aren't okay. This is when you can really start having some interesting conversations. You see a character on TV make a not-so-great choice. Pause it. Talk about it. Use that 3-step model to break it down. What happened? What did they choose to do? And what was the result? Your role really changes here, from being the director to being their coach. Okay, now for the next level. Right around ages 9 to 11, just as they're starting to get a good handle on their own choices, a powerful new force enters the arena: their friends. And oh man, does this complicate things. That middle step in our framework, the choice one, it's not just about their own impulses anymore. Now it's being pulled and pushed and influenced by what other kids are saying and doing. So what's the game plan here? Well, it's definitely not about trying to isolate them from their friends. It's about strengthening their internal foundation. The values you've been talking about all along now need to become their anchor, something strong enough to hold them steady against the tide of what everyone else is doing. The key is to have these conversations proactively. Talk about your family's values out loud. You could say something like, in our family, we really believe in being honest, even when it's tough, or we always try to be kind. The goal is to give them the confidence and the tools to stand firm in their own good choices, even when it's not the popular thing to do. So when we pull back and look at this whole journey, you start to see this really clear pattern, right? You see how a parent's role has to change and adapt over time. This timeline pretty much sums it up. In those early years, you're their hands-on guide. Then, as they get a little older, you become their coach, helping them think things through. And from age 9 or so, you're more of a mentor, reinforcing that moral compass you've helped them build. Each stage is so important, and it builds on the one before it. And really, this is the most important takeaway of all. Teaching right from wrong isn't a single lesson you knock out one afternoon. Nope. It's a continuous conversation that gets deeper and more complex as your child matures. It's a process, not a destination.
So that leaves us with this one last thought. Every single day is filled with these little moments, an argument over a toy, a character in a movie, something that happens at the playground. Every single one is a teachable moment, an opportunity. The only question is, what choice will you help your child understand today?